My name is Akashdeep Singh. My student ID is 77456980. Today I explain the topic about strategic and analytical thinking. Critical thinking learning, exploring how critical thinking can get to the root of problem and help build several solutions. Study techniques for identify consecutive bias and logical efficiency in the decision making process. Study cases in which strategic outcomes have been achieved through critical analysis. Work on developing analytical reasoning and problem solving skills. Learning how to synthesize information draw from various sources to inform decision. Decision why people should question ambitions and entertain various perspectives. Review tools and framework for adding a structure critical analysis. Examine for how critical thinking supports innovation and sustainability in business. Identify areas in which one can improve one's own critical facilities. Reflect on how critical thinking has or could have operated in professional experience. Critical thinking application. Applied critical thinking to review project proposal, thereby determine risk and benefit. Lead team decision that promote upswing viewpoint and critical thinking. Build decision metrics to rate options that with the criteria definable. Promoted the use of reflective practice to develop solutions further. Strategic decisions have been informed by SWOT. Refuted the existing ways of working and questioned underlying options. Following inquiries and reasoned argument based in evidence within the team. Measure the result of each, decide actions to judge effectiveness in applying critical thinking method. Trained with colleagues on critical thinking, recorded the lesson gained from the experience to inform that strategic inventions. Decision making learning. Explore decision making models such as rational, intuitive, and organizational primed. Looked at how decision making styles affect organizational performance. Examined the role of data analysis and evidence in making informed decisions. Practice way to weight short term various long term perspectives when focused with the decision making. Studied how the culture and of an organization influence the decision making process. Analyzed ethical consideration and potential basis of decision making. Engaged in crisis simulation experience to practice decision making. Analyzed cases study covering both successful and unsuccessful decision making situations. Recognized one own decision making style and worked on area of developing. Reflected on post decision in terms of outcome and learning experience. Decision making application. Use structured decision making processes to study project planning. Harvard Business School Online 2023. Looked at the data analytical from a strategic perspective from decision of on resource allocations. Facilitated group conventional building processes on decision regarding strategies that would bind the team on its objectives. Applied risk assessment to the evaluation of changing interventions, including policy, regulation, and magical impacts. Monitoring team members on effective decision making practice. Writing the prospective decision down along with the rationale so as the preserve accountability and clarity. Setting up feedback loops to improve future decision making processes. Strategic planning learning. Investigating the concept of strategic planning, including vision setting and goal alignment. Investigating environment scanning procedure to with the SWOT and pistol analysis ND. Reviewed the use and the strategic planning in setting resources allocated and performance measurement. Review assignment strategic planning implementations through case studies. Participated in workshop for the preschool development for strategic thinking and planning. Learning about the stakeholder engaged within the strategy developing process, decision feasibility and agility in strategic plans, elevated tools for strategic planning and monitoring and evaluation progress, lexic common pistol and strategic planning and way of circumvent them, reflected on the proposal and organization strategic element. Strategic planning application. I was in charge of designing strategic planning in department growth and innovations. Conducted SWOT analysis for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Co-opted members in interfunctional team for inputs and different stages of the planning. Set clear objective and key performance indicators and HR progress. Report resources, allocations, and incentives. Identify review point wherein effectiveness will be allocated and plan addressed. Put strategic goals in front of the stakeholders and constantly report on progress so that the alignment is maintained. After the strategic plan and time based on market charges of or feedback. Record lessons and learning to become input for further strategic planning. Training sessions or strategic development were provided for them team. Negotiation learning. Study the key negotiation skills including communication, active listening, and emotional intelligence. Program on negotiation at Harvard Law School 2025. Learn different types of negotiation and when to apply them. Examine preparation and planning as criteria aspect of successful negotiation. Conducted the rules play to practice negotiation sincere. From the conflict resolution point of view, studies how to find a win-win solution. The effective of culture and negotiation style was adapted. The analysis of good and poor negotiation were conducted. Professional negotiations and areas in growth were recognized. And strategies within the negotiation process were evaluated. Past experience in negotiation were reviewed and lessons learned. Negotiation implementation led contract negotiations with the vendor to ensure favorable term and cost saving. Facilitated negotiation sessions between the internal department in order to align constructive properties. Applied principled negotiation techniques for the sake of mutual interest. Employ active listen along with questions and techniques to explore underlying needs. Cultive Batana, the best alternative to a negotiation agreement to reinforce one's position or in bargaining. Let high stake negotiations with external stakeholder in consider deadline. Negotiation approach was adjusted to align with the cross-culture context and manner of communication. Conducted post negotiation review to capture lessons learned and processes that may still require improvement. Deliver negotiation training to term member to increase organization competence. Maintain a relationship after negotiation to ensure the long-term collaboration agreement. Now, this is my all reference. Thanks you very much. Have a nice day.